Hey, today I wanted to talk about Synth1. It is one of my favorite synths, and it is free, and it came out in October 2002, so it's super old. It's coming up on 23 years old, and it sounds really good. It is modeled after the Nord Lead 2. I'm gonna do a quick overview of the whole synth, and then I'll show you a couple of the things that I made with it, and just show you what it can do, okay? 2 oscillators. The first oscillator has a sine wave, a triangle, sawtooth, and pulse width, which can be modulated here. A detune option, frequency modulation, so that you can modulate the frequency from oscillator 2. A sub oscillator, and you've got a couple of different options. So you have a sine wave, triangle, sawtooth, and pulse width. Oscillator 2 differs from oscillator 1 in that it has a triangle instead of a sine wave, sawtooth, pulse, and then it has noise right there. You've got ring mod, you have sync, pitch control for this one here, so you can detune it from oscillator 1 and the sub frequency, as well as a fine tune, so then you can sort of go in cents instead of semitones. You have an ability to turn off key tracking, which is really cool if you're making drums or things like that, or making FM sounds. Really good for that sort of thing. We have a mod envelope here, which is just an attack and decay. And here's your amount control here. You've got 3 destinations. It can go to oscillator 2, frequency modulation, or pulse width. Continuing down, we have 2 LFOs. They are identical. They can be tempo synced, key triggered. Here is your speed control. Here's your amount control. Here's all the different destinations, right? So you've got oscillator 2, oscillator 1 and 2's pitch. You've got the filter, cutoff, the amp, you've got the pulse width, frequency modulation, and panning. Like I said, both of those are identical. Let's go up to the top. We have a full ADSR for the amp gain control post that envelope, as well as a velocity control. So depending on how hard you hit your MIDI controller will determine how hard the amp triggers. A full ADSR for the filter. Here is your amount here. We have 5 different filter types: 2-pole, 4-pole, high pass filter, band pass filter, and then this other filter. I don't know what it is. I think it's a low pass filter that doesn't lose all of its bass whenever you crank the resonance, but I don't really know. Down here is your cutoff control. Resonance, saturation, which is super great because sometimes the synth can sound a little thin, and the saturation just helps give it a little bit more oomph. You've got tracking here, and then again, velocity. Here's your ARP down here. We've got up, down, random, and we can go all the way to 4 octaves. Up here we have the effects section, distortions, decimator, ring mod, compressor, and then 4 different types of phasers, an equalizer and pan control, a tempo delay, and this is really sick. Stereo, you've got cross delay, and then you've got ping pong delay. Chorus down here, 3 different modes. We've got 1 times, 2 times, and 4 times. And it just sounds really good, and I think whenever you're building patches, it just does this like beautiful glue to sort of take it to the next level. We've got our voice mode, poly, mono, legato. This goes up to 32 voices, which is sick. We've got a unison control down here, the detune amount, the phase, the spread, and then also the pitch, which is really neat. I've not seen that on other synths. We also have a mod matrix section down here, and this allows you to send destinations for the mod wheel as well as the pitch bend wheel. You've got a ton of different other sources in here that you can also use, and then you can send them just about anywhere on the whole synth. And you've got 2 of those, so this makes this synth super flexible. Let's take a listen to the oscillators. We're gonna take a listen to the filters. We'll do some filter sweeping, and then I will show you some patches that I've made, and then finish up with some tracks that I've made with this synth. So we've got a sine wave, triangle, sine, and then pulse width. Again, your pulse width control is here. Oscillator 2. So this is a mixed control, so it's not like oscillator 1's all the way up, then oscillator 2's up. You go from oscillator 1 to oscillator 1 and 2 to oscillator 2, if that makes sense. Triangle, saw, pulse width. Again, your pulse width control is over here. And then we have noise, right? You control the frequency of the noise with the filter. All right, let's do some filter sweeps. Here is the 2-pole. I'm not even gonna go crazy with the resonance and all that. We're just gonna listen to a couple of these. 4-pole, high pass, band pass, and then this LPDL, which I don't know what it is. Filter also self-oscillates. It's a pretty good filter. Let's go ahead and listen to a couple of the patches that I've made with this. Here's a kick. Triangle 808. Cool. I've got some snares that I've made. Here's some FM sounds that I've made. All right, we'll keep on moving here. That's sick for a 2002 synth. And if you don't like it, then I don't want to be your friend. This is a serum patch that I really liked, and I tried to replicate it over here. Let's just take a quick moment here. Nord, lead 2. Just taking a quick look, right? No judgment or anything like that, but Nord lead 2. Going for $700, $900, $1,200. A digital synth in the software, a digital synth in hardware, right? If you want the hardware, then I think that that's a great idea. But if you think that you can't make the music that you'd like to make without the hardware, you are incorrect. Let me show you a couple of things that I made with this. I've really been enjoying just making single patches and playing maybe multiple different parts with one instance of a synth. I'll show you two different things that I've made with this. So let's take a listen to those real quick. just sitting and playing with this synth and then using the push to sort of make me feel like I'm interacting with hardware, even though I'm not. This last thing that I'm going to show you, I made this entirely with Synth1. One of the previous tracks that I made, I chopped it up and just sampled that. Then I put Synth1 into a drum rack, multiple instances. And I have a kick drum, a snare drum, percussion, hi-hats, that sort of thing. So this is entirely Synth1, just to show how versatile the synth is. So take a listen to this. Probably wouldn't want to use Synth1 to make drums, but you can do it. And I think that it exemplifies how versatile this synth is and why I think that you should get it, because it costs you that, right? If you get a chance, take a listen to some of my music. I have all of my music on Bandcamp, and I have the links for that music in the description right down here. And if you could find some time to listen to it, I'd appreciate that. And if you don't like it, that's okay too. And listen, I hope that you have a good weekend or a week or a day whenever you're watching this. And take care. See you later. Bye.